Are we still on 10 minutes?
15?
10 minutes, we continue. There's still a lot of interest.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. When I rose to seek a statement on the rising cost of fuel in the country, Madam Speaker, I thought it was in the interest of the nation and in the interests of all Kenyans. And I thought that the minister concerned, Minister C.S. John Munyes, would have given an attention and opportunity because, as my colleague said yesterday, Madam Speaker, that the cost of fuel will always drive the cost of living up. And Madam Speaker, I want to really say that I agree with colleagues that the Minister of Petroleum should and must be censured. But, Madam Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. Article 153.3, that any cabinet minister can be invited by this House. And we were shocked. And I raised 4 issues, Madam Speaker, then. That what were the reasons that led to the increase through IPRA, which is mandated to do their job? What was the role of petroleum levy fund that should have been used to cushion whenever there is rise in fuel cost in the country? Madam Speaker, I even went ahead and wanted to know the proceeds of Ngamia 1 in Turkana. And you remember, Madam Speaker, there was even a research that was done by a consulting firm called Kafni Klein Associates that indicated that 500 million or thereabout barrels of oil were commercially viable in Turkana Ngamia 1 project. And Madam Speaker, there was fanfare when this project was being launched by the President on Ngamia 1 in Turkana. And you remember the hue and cry that followed from the locals because of the revenue. We have never known where that fuel goes, Madam Speaker, so we don't know where that fuel that was being mined in Turkana went, whether it was used as a cooking oil or mafuta ya kuchipaka. So no one has really told us, Madam Speaker, that where that fuel is. And Kenyans knew that we were getting fuel from Ngamia 1, Madam Speaker. And there were even plans to construct 845 kilometers of pipeline from all the way from Turkana all the way to Mombasa through the famous LAPSET projects. And therefore, those were my few issues, the 4 key issues that I really wanted to know in my statement, Madam Speaker. And of course, to know that the question, and I thank the mover of the motion, the Senate Minority Leader, for saying that the cost of fuel in the country is high in Kenya than Tanzania and Uganda, yet they get their fuel through Mombasa Port, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am a bit cautious when it comes of censuring the CS in charge of energy, Charles Keter, because I went and did some research and look at the executive order number 1 of 2016. That docket was under CS Charles Keter. I don't know why Senator Ledema is looking at me. That was CS Charles Keter. But that executive order number 1 of 2018 and 2020, that State Department of Petroleum was moved to CS John Munyes. And when that reorganization was done, one was the petroleum policy was moved to the Ministry of Petroleum, strategic policy, petroleum stock marketing, oil and gas, import and exports, export of fuel and import of the same, licensing, marketing and handling of petroleum products, quality control. These were put by executive order in the reorganization of number one executive order number 1 of 2018 and number 1 of 2020. And you remember it is CS Charles Keter, Madam Speaker, that even had the courtesy of sending a letter to the House to try and explain. But of course, he didn't read Article 153.3. where he knew that the House of Parliament, either Senate of National Assembly, can summon him, can invite and summon him at the same time, Madam Speaker. So I think in all fairness and honesty, Madam Speaker, this issue of petroleum lies squarely on the Ministry of Mining and Petroleum. And therefore, Madam Speaker, when you look at the Executive Order number 1,
Senator, there is a point of
can I, because my time? Why is Senator Wajir shouting and this is not a marketplace? I thought the Speaker is the one controlling the debate.
Senator, I've already given Senator Wetangula.
But is it point of order or information? Okay. Must oblige Waziri.
Charargei.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I want to inform the distinguished young senator, my good friend, and a very objective one at that the censure on Minister Keter is not about petroleum. Thank you. And the Hansard will inform you and bear the House and the move of the motion out that while you brought your statement on petroleum, matters ensued in the debate allowed by the Speaker that apart from fuel skyrocketing in prices, the cost of electricity in the country was unbearable. And the Speaker, not anybody else, directed that the Committee of the Whole invites the two ministers for petroleum and for energy. So Senator Keter was being invited to come and answer questions on the high cost of electricity. And to crown it all, Honorable Senator Charargei, through the chair, a copy of the Hansard was also sent to him accompanying the invitation to tell him what exactly he was coming to answer to. He never turned up, he never sent a representative, he never explained, he never even apologized. We only saw him on TV waving an executive order that was totally irrelevant in the circumstances.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will take that information with a pinch of salt. But that one notwithstanding, Madam Speaker, is that is why I was insisting on the 4 issues. And I remember, if I'm right, Madam Speaker, the chair of Energy, Senator Ephraim Maina, indicated that there was a letter from CS Charles Keter saying he did not know why he was being summoned before the Senate. And you know, someone says and invitations are 2 different things. This is a cabinet secretary, Madam Speaker, that even the chair of Senate committee, and you were there, I don't know whether you were there, Madam Speaker, but you raised the issue of electricity then, that raised that, that CS Charles Keter has been appearing before this committee, and I've sought many questions and answers from the committee. The only CS that the cabinet, the committee flagged out was CS John Munyes. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I think the clerk of the committee indicated that there was a letter from CS Keter saying he did not know the reason why he was being summoned. You know, this was not an invitation. If it was an invitation, it was different. Because when you are summoned, the Powers and Privileges Act is very clear on the implication of the summonses as opposed to the invitation that was, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, I think my learned senior Senator James Orengo should have been very clear, because the answer that was given, and I read that answer, I have it here, Madam Speaker, courtesy of your office, is that it was directed by the Speaker. The same answered. But there was no specific questions as to what the CS of Energy was to come and do, as opposed to the CS of Petroleum, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I agree that any person should be, I think Article 125, this House has a power to summon. But also we must be honest. We must follow the law. Everybody has faith in Senate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the point I'm trying to raise, Madam Speaker, here is Madam
Senator,
Speaker.
for Turkana, you have a button there for intervention. So if you need a point of order, you just have to press it without cutting up your hand up. So I give you the opportunity.
And I
Senator
hope you will
Charargei,
phrase
you
my-
will have your half
Okay.
a minute left.
Yes. The reason why, Honorable Charargei, I see you're making a lot of hoopla about CS Keter being summoned by the Energy Committee. But I want you to know that he was summoned because we wanted him to come and answer questions about the high electricity tariffs that are actually affecting Kenyans and shutting down our economy, shutting down businesses. That's why we summoned him. He did not appear. Because he did not appear and we are operating on the orders of the High Court, he got what he had to have according to the law. Thank you.
Senator Charargei, please finalize.
No, Madam Speaker, but you need to appreciate that my time has been eaten away.
We have held you are left with 1
Madam,
minute.
Madam
It is-
Speaker,
it
just
is
in
held there.
conclusion, but this conclusion, and you know, being my neighbor, I hope you'll add me 2 minutes. Madam Speaker, just I wanted to say, we must follow the procedure and rules. You know, it was a summons as opposed as to invitation. If the Speaker had invited, it would have been different as opposed to summonses. Because summonses is a different animal altogether as opposed as to invitation. I agree the danger that we have in this country is the high cost of fuel. It must be addressed. I agree the issue of high electricity bills in this country must be addressed.
Yes, Senator Orengo, I think there is a misleading somewhere here. Needs to be corrected.
Madam Speaker, is it right that a lawyer who has been admitted to the High Court the other day, but this should be, small knowledge, because, Madam Speaker, what is before the House are not proceedings of the Powers and Privileges Committee. It is not. This is a motion of censure, and you can be censured on anything. But already, I know the Committee on Energy, they have already acted on the basis of powers under the Constitution and sanctioned the Minister, Keter, I think. Yeah, they fined him 500,000 shillings. There was a process where he should have gone to defend himself. But this process now is not about censuring. It's not about powers and privileges. It's not about a punishment. It's a censure motion. So I think it's absolutely out of order to misunderstand what is before the House today. This is not the Powers and Privileges Committee. And you're meeting...
Madam Speaker, the minority leader is also misunderstanding what I'm just saying. And I'm just saying that when this statement had come up, it is not that the CS of energy or petroleum had declined to appear. Then you can issue summonses at that. That's only, I'm arguing on the issue of rules and procedure. You might not like the person who is in that office, but you have the right to defend. And Senator Orengo, in conclusion, knows that the reason we have high price of fuel and electricity is because of the handshake government. They are the ones who should be addressing these things instead of defending. So, Madam Speaker, let us put the blame where...
Senator Moses Kajwang, Senator for Omabay.
Madam Speaker, I rise to support the censure motion against the two cabinet secretaries